Star out of 1 West Hall, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And this is the weekly Brotherhood class. How y'all doing out there? You understand I'm Priest and Officer Tapazar. And I have with me Trooper Carl Kazai, who will be doing the reading for us tonight. And today's subject is pride is the enemy of brotherhood. And you know, pride is a wicked thing, man. But it's also a thing that afflicts and plagues our community. When I say our community and Native Indian communities, pride, you know, pride is a blocker. You know, it blocks a lot of things, man. It blocks, the main thing that it blocks is brotherhood. But it can also block you from getting what you need. You understand? And you know, people take that word in different ways. You know, sometimes, like, you know, when your kids are doing well in school, you know, you might say you have pride in your children, or you're proud of your children. You know, some people take pride in, you know, like they say, if your home is well kept, or if your car is well kept, you know, they say you take pride in what you own, right? Or you take pride in your or you know, you take pride in your personal appearance. You know, if you come out well groomed, or you know, looking a certain kind of way, that word will get thrown in the mix. And I'm not necessarily talking about that, because I think a better word for that would be esteem, right? Like or that you take care, right? But the pride I'm talking about is the pride that prevents brotherhood. It's the pride that prevents our people coming together. It's the pride that closed people's ears off from hearing Christ, who was the perfect example of brotherhood. You understand? And Salakia, I'm getting ahead of myself right now, man. Let me do a courtesy salute. Salakia, Shalom Yahaba Shem Yahshua Brakathum, to all the mighty brothers, the mighty men, the warriors, you know what I'm saying, in the nation. And Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bashem Yahushai, to the sisters, the princesses, you know what I'm saying, in our nation. You know what I mean? I hope y'all are having a, you know what I mean, a strong week, you know what I'm saying, fighting your demons and enduring. Salakia, you know, back to the topic. So the pride that I'm talking about is the pride that, you know, separates brothers. Right now, you know what I'm saying, the order that's out to it before Israel is Zephaniah 2:1. And Carl Kazai, if you could get that precept for me. Okay. You understand? Go ahead and bring that out.
Come. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Mm-hmm. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
See, we all understand as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that we're a nation not desired. We understand that. And, you know, since we hit the shores of this hellhole called America, and, you know, and had to endure the shame, you know, and the horrors of slavery, you know what I'm saying, and working, you know, 400 years of free labor for our oppressor, you know what I mean, the white man, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. We've had to suffer humiliation. And because of that humiliation that we suffered, it's in our blood to want to have pride. Because we're a nation not desired. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have suffered some of the worst humiliation, and really the worst humiliation, you know, of any nation, of any people on the earth, man. You know, I mean, we've been in repeated captivities, man, serving every nation that's on this planet, damn near. You understand? And because of that, because of our history, because of us being regarded as nothing by these other nations, there's a certain level of pride that we as, as black people, when I say black, I mean Hispanics and Native Indians, that us as black people have. We want to keep our head up. We don't want anybody to. We don't want to take nothing from nobody. You know what I'm saying? But when you have that level of pride, it makes it almost impossible to gather together, because when you're at that level, you don't want to take any instruction, because you feel like you know it all already. You feel like you got it all together, or you may not know it all, but you're not trying to listen to anybody that came before you, because you're gonna figure this out on your own. You're gonna walk your own path. You're gonna walk to the beat of your own drum. You understand? And that doesn't work in building a nation. You understand? And it definitely doesn't work in brotherhood, man. You can't have 100 chiefs and no Indians. You understand? Now, we understand that in this truth, we're striving and fighting for rulership. But you don't gain that rulership by trying to act as if you're running things now on your own, because you're not. We all are suffering the same oppression. You understand? We all are going through the same hell, man. And what's required in this time, until the return of our King Christ, and what he commands us and what he expects from us, is brotherhood. But pride works against that, man. Pride will have you not pick up the phone, you understand, when your brother is calling because you have an art with him, man. Or maybe you don't have an art with your brother, but when your brother calls you, pride will have it to where you don't call them back. Pride will have you unable to say Salakia. Or, you understand, or pride will have you to not even go and tell your brother that you have an issue with him. Pride does a lot of things, man. Pride puffs up, man, and pride comes from different things, man. Some people have pride because they have a lot of money. Some people have pride because they feel like they have a lot of knowledge. You understand? A lot of times, the people that we encounter, man, like they may have read, 5 or 6 scriptures, and they're all puffed up about what they feel like they understand about the Bible. Christians. One of the things that we hear all the time from Christians is that, I've read the Bible front to back. I've been in church for 20 years. What would make, if someone's having a discussion about any subject, what would make you announce your so-called credentials in the beginning of the conversation? Pride. Right? Because if you really do know, why do you have to state what you know? Right? If anything, you will be listening to hear if what you know lines up with what they're saying. And if there's an area of discrepancy, then that's not even the time for pride. The next phase would be a question. Okay, so you said this. Can you elaborate on that more? Can you explain your position on that particular subject more? But what pride does is, man, pride puffs a person up. You understand? And, when it comes to us being in the truth, man, and brotherhood, man, there's no room for it. There's no room for it, man. Because you can't operate in pride and operate in love at the same time, man. You know what I'm saying? They can't occupy the same space, man. You understand? Pride is going to separate you from your brothers. It's not going to join you to them. You understand? And so read that precept one more time, warrior.
Come.
The water, sir.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
We're a nation not desired, man. And as a nation not desired, that's the view of our enemies against us as a whole. So we don't even have the luxury to have that kind of attitude with our brother. Listen, if the other nations are looking at us and not desiring us, they have no good in mind for us. They don't They're not seeking our best interest. How can we as a people, how can we as a nation afford to have that same vibe, that same spirit with our brethren? That's not the spirit that Christ had. You understand? And I'm going to say this. Pride is not strength, man. Pride is not strength. It may feel like it. You know what I'm saying? I would say pride is like a Red Bull. You know what I'm saying? You down, your energy level ain't high, and you take a Red Bull. Okay, it might get you up for a second, but it's not gonna last long, man. And really, you end up crashing after that. You know what I'm saying? What's really good for you is consistent intakes of water and consistent exercise, and then a consistent healthy diet. That's what keeps you at unless you have some type of serious ailment, or disease that you're dealing with. But outside of that, if you're exercising every day, you're drinking water every day, and you're eating the right nutrients, your energy level, and you're getting a decent amount of rest, your energy level should be good. You understand? But a Red Bull is like a quick fix. You understand? And a lot of times, man, we feel like we don't want to be viewed as weak, or perceived to be weak, or perceived to be behind the next man. You understand? It's always about one-upping the person next to you. So, somebody comes in, with something on, or somebody, comes off like they have a certain ability, and then, people's pride kicks in, man. And it's the reason why, I'm going to be honest with you, it's the reason why outside of the ISUPK, because in the ISUPK, I'm not saying that pride doesn't exist in the ISUPK, but it's a demon, and those demons are being fought. And if they're not being fought by the individual, they're definitely being addressed by the men above us when it's perceived in somebody or from the brethren, because we operate under the protocols and the precepts of Christ. You understand? So, in terms of the world, though, when you go into a club or a function, that's where you see the pride at. It's who got the biggest chain, who got the most bottles, who got the most models, right? Everybody's trying to one up each other. You know what I mean? I'm the best this, I'm the best that. And like the crazy part about it is, man, is that it produces two things, man. It either produces people who want to operate in that same spirit, so they strive after those things. You know what I mean? The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. They see someone living like that, and they want to imitate that because they see a reaction to that. You understand? They see the reaction of the people dealing with that. You understand? Or it produces envy and hatred. You understand? Where a person is now is looking at this person like, man, I'm finna take him off of his platform. I'm finna knock him off his pedestal. You understand? And so pretty much, man, you understand, like, Salakia.
You see, we gotta take the camera off the thing because it's messing with the audio. Salakia.
No sweat. Hey, y'all hold on 1 second, man.
You said it sounded like a million crickets in the background.
Hey, give me that box. Hey, Salakia, y'all hold on 1 second. Right, so Salaki for that interruption, y'all. So I need you down here, man. That we can't keep dealing with that. So okay, so pretty much, man. Give me let me get Proverbs 26:12.
Okay.
Actually, Salaki, give me Proverbs Proverbs 26:12. Salaki, y'all, for the interruption. Because see, in the ISUPK, man, we operate under the doctrine of Christ, man, and that's the doctrine of being one body. You understand? And go ahead and get the door. One body under the structure and order of Christ, which is Christ is the head of every man, man is the head of the woman, and God is the head of Christ. You understand? So we operate under authority. No man operates on his own. But see, when you operate in pride, man, you're your own God. You're your own king. You're your own counselor. You understand? You live by your own rules, man. And that spirit, that vibe, it kills brotherhood. You understand? That kills brotherhood, man. You understand? Go ahead and bring that out.
Come. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 12. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is no more hope of a fool than of him.
Right. There's more hope of a fool than of him. Right. Read that again from the top.
Come. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him.
Right. A man who believes in his own thoughts, right, in his own mind, in his own thinking, there's more hope of a fool than of him. You understand? Because you might have a person that went to college. You understand? They were college educated. They studied a certain educational discipline, and because of that, because of their pride of having a degree, a master's degree or a doctor's degree, because of that pride, they operate in a mindset of can't nobody tell me nothing. And the deep part about it is too, it don't have to be college education that puts you in that spirit. It could just be regular life experience, man. I've encountered some people because of their age, because they have gray hair, that and what they've experienced in life, they deny the truth of the Bible because they feel like they've lived a long time, that they feel like they've seen it all. You understand? Pride can come from multiple sources, man. It can come from different areas, man. You understand? It's pride for a woman not to take heed to her husband, man.
Right.
To her man. You understand? To feel like that her man can't tell her anything, or that the relationship is 50-50, man. That's a spirit of pride. You understand? It's pride for children not to want to take heed to their parents, man. When you in these stores and you see these kids, man, acting up, and the parents are trying to discipline their children, and the kids are talking back, or having a tantrum, acting a fool. That's pride. You understand? And the scriptures say, man, the scriptures say that foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction will drive it out. A lot of us, man, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we didn't receive enough correction from our parents, man. Like the pride that we have as adults, man, it shows how we were raised, man. Or I'll say this, it shows what took and how we were in us being raised, what stayed and what didn't stay. You understand? A lot of times, man, it's something I said too. I mean, I had that spirit for a little while, but when I hit 18, young people want to say, "Oh, I'm grown now. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm grown." You could be 50 years old and still be a baby.
Right.
You understand? Wisdom is not necessarily dictated by age. You can have wisdom from having a lot of experience, but you can have gray hair. You can have grays and be a fool, man. Right. You understand? Age doesn't necessarily determine your level of wisdom. Your humility does. You understand? Read that precept again, Caucasar.
Come. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 12.
Right.
Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him.
Because can't nobody tell him nothing. To keep it practical, to keep it simple. Him or her, can't nobody tell that person nothing. Like, you know, it's a phrase that's out in our culture right now. I said what I said, or, you know, period. You know, end of story. Like, that's pride, man. I said what I said. So you feel like you the Most High, and what you say, it just go, and that's it. You can't be corrected. You can't be. What the way you think can't change. Your mind is like this. It's not like this. It's not open.
All right.
That's a wicked spirit, man. You understand? Go ahead and give me Proverbs 28 and 25. You understand? And when it comes to brotherhood, man, pride is a disgusting thing, man, because the scriptures say that. In fact, Abanzion, give me that Psalm 133 and 1. Let's hear what the Lord say about brotherhood and what it's supposed to look like. You understand? You bring that out first. Right.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 133, verse 1.
Right.
Behold, how good and how pleasant is it?
How good and how pleasant. So the Lord's saying, what he's about to speak on concerning brotherhood, this is good and pleasant to him. Go ahead.
For brethren to dwell together in unity.
To dwell together in unity. You understand? So when the Lord sees brothers, you know what I mean, in unity of one mind, one spirit, moving off the same vibe, and living according to these commandments, he says it's good and pleasant for him to see that. Keep reading.
Verse 2. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard.
Right, in Salakia. And we all know, you know what I mean, for us that have, you know, come into this truth, whether you get your name, whether you receive a raise in rank, you know, or just, you know, if you asking for prayer, the oil gets poured on your head. You understand?
Right.
That oil being poured on your head is the Lord giving attention to your way. You understand? And it's also power being given to you. So there's power in the unity of the brethren. And it's good and it's pleasant unto the Lord. That's why he gives power where there's unity at. But if you have a brother that has a spirit of pride, it's going to break that unity up. You understand? If you have a brother who feels like he's above his brethren, or you know he can't put his brother's concerns above his own, it's going to break up the brotherhood, man.
Right.
You understand? Or if a brother in his head feel like he know it all, or he got it all figured out, and he understand. Oh, I know how this brother act. I know what he on. Oh, I know what this brother on, man. You know what I'm saying? And within your own self, you having by yourself meetings. Other brothers inside of yourself, you ain't going to another brother backbiting, but within yourself you're backbiting. You understand? Because you're not doing what Matthew 18:15 said, which is if you have an ought with your brother, to go to him and tell him your grievance. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, you know, when it comes to men, man, like man's pride, like I said, a man's pride will stop him from going to his brother and telling him what his issue is. Because in the world, a lot of times, you going to express a concern to a brother, what's your number one fear in doing that? That he's not going to hear you. And this is in the world I'm talking about. And if a brother don't hear you, what's the next step? Anybody? Violence. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to feel like a sucker. You don't want to feel like you got played. That you went to a brother and was like, hey, man, you know, this is my concern, or hey man, I felt like, you know what I'm saying, like you violated me or disrespected me. He's like, and you don't want to hear niggas say, nigga F you. You know what I'm saying? What? Nigga, what you want to do? Right. Like that's what every man in the world, that's what every man I don't want to say he fear it, but he don't want to have to deal with that. Right. Because he know what's coming after that. So a lot of times what brothers do is they don't say nothing at all, or it get right to the violence, or it's like I'm not dealing with that brother at all.
Right. And
that keep us separated, man, as a nation. And right now, the Lord is telling us that we have to gather together. So in order for us to gather together, we have to put pride to the side, man. You understand? Pride is like a cancer, man. It eats away at the brotherhood, man. And brotherhood is our weapon. It's our only weapon right now. Because within the brotherhood is all those other things. Within the brotherhood is wisdom. Within the brotherhood is counsel. Why? Because it's not one man relying on his own intelligence. It's not one man relying on his own understanding. Really, it's not one man relying on his own strength. You understand? In the brotherhood, man, you can, if there's something that you don't understand, you got, in the UPK, you got thousands of men of different experiences, men of different abilities, different interests and pursuits that have gone, and that's where the wealth is at.
Right.
When Christ said, I see your poverty, but thou art rich. Man, the brotherhood makes us rich because we can call on one another, man. We can rely on each other, man. If I don't have the answer, one of my brothers got an answer for me.
Right.
But pride will keep me from getting that answer because, like how the brother brought out earlier, man. A man wise in his own conceit, there's more hope of a fool than of him. Because at least with a fool don't know. He foolish. He don't have no understanding. He don't have no discretion. He don't have no subtlety. He don't have no wisdom. But if he stop and close his mouth and listen, he don't have to remain a fool.
Right.
You understand? He can come up out of that. The scriptures talk about to give wisdom to the simple, to give subtlety to to those who are that are stuck in simplicity. Right? But if you feel like you already got it together, that you are already wise, if your cup is already full, who can pour into you, man? You understand? And pride does that, man. You understand? And man, the worst thing about pride, and the Lord hates it, man. And we about to find out, man, how the Lord feel about pride. The Lord hates it, man. It's because you can't receive correction. You can't receive counsel, man. You can't take a check-in when you in pride, man. You understand? And brotherhood can't exist without correction, man. No one person is always right. No one person has all the answers, man.
Right.
You understand? Just because people sometimes, man, it's kind of like Salakia, and it's an aspect of immaturity. But people feel like, okay, the scriptures say that the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. If you in this truth and you're following Christ and you're on the front lines, what we understand is that what we're doing now, in some time before, we was doing it before. Okay? Right. But in a prophet, he's given wisdom because the scriptures say the Lord does nothing except he reveal it to his prophets. You understand? But just because you can see something that someone else don't see, you shouldn't get puffed up about that. Because at one point in time, you couldn't see neither.
Right.
You understand? And the scriptures say, what have you gotten that you haven't received? Who came into this thing knowing, good night. Who came into this thing knowing exactly what to do? Who came into this thing knowing exactly how to walk? Nobody, man. Everybody had to be taught. Even Christ himself, man. Our King, Yahushua, man. Mashiach. As a child was in the temple asking questions of the doctors and the lawyers. Even he had to learn and study. Nobody comes into this thing with understanding. And I'm going to tell you something else, man. That's what prevents people from coming into the truth, man, is pride. Because you feel like you didn't pick up this Bible and read a few scriptures and now you got all the mysteries and revelations. Or you disrespect the Bible and feel like because you read a passage, it's obvious, it's plain and simple. It says it right there, it means this. You never take the time to consider to yourself that maybe I don't understand this. I don't know all the different contexts that this could have been written in. You understand? There's no humility. Pride will prevent you from. The scriptures say that knowledge puffs up. But I'm gonna tell you, man, pride can really prevent you from actually getting real knowledge. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm just keeping it 1,000. Until I came to the Isupk under Command General Yohana and sat down in class and opened my ears up and listened, I didn't have any knowledge. None of what I acquired prior to coming into the ISUPK benefited me on any level. And that's just a fact. I went through different things. Islam, Nation of Gods and Earths, read, the scripture that says there's no end of the weariness of reading of many books. That was me. And I'm gonna be, and all I was doing was filling myself up with a spirit of pride. I walk around like I know this and I know that, and I didn't know a goddamn thing. And I realized that when I came to the ISUPK. But but I say the water Yahweh Shai for the Most High bursting my bubble, man, and popping my balloon, man, and letting that air out. Cause that's all it was. It was air. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Whatever you think you know, if it's not benefiting your people, if it's not benefiting blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to get up out of this hell, to bring us together, then what is the benefit of your knowledge, man? And don't nobody need to hear you pontificate, run your mouth. Don't nobody care. You understand? How does you running your mouth help that brother on the street that's starving or that's on drugs? Well, listen, the plan for black people is that we should come together and organize economically. Man, just be quiet, man. You understand? How many organizations have we had that try to provide solutions, man? You understand? You had Noble Drew Ali. You had Marcus Garvey. You had Elijah Muhammad. You understand? You had the Black Panthers. You had the NAACP. Right? You had the Black Caucus. You had all these people with all these ideas. Jesse Jackson, you know what I mean? Get on hope and say no to dope. Right? All these different so-called intelligent, knowledgeable people, but couldn't get black people to come together and stay on one path, man. Because what we lacked was humility, man. The scripture said that if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves. That was the first requirement, to humble down. We all have to put our what we think we know to the side, man, if we're going to come and serve the Lord. And then we got to prepare ourselves to be tested. Because, listen, man, good night. We think because we've been going through hell that those are the tests. That's just the punishments. That's not a test. A test is when you receive the instructions of the Most High, and you can hold to those instructions and endure it in fire, under pressure. You can't. I'm gonna be honest. You're not even really tested when you're not in the truth. You're just going through hell. The hell that everybody else is going through. You're not even being tested. You understand? Ain't nobody grading your paper, man. You just out there failing. You just failing, man. You know what I'm saying? You in what's that when you had to sit in class all day? I know I was in there all the time. Well, they call it different things now. They be like in class suspension and I don't know. They got different acronyms for that stuff now for the kids. You understand? But Salakia, but like I said, man, pride destroys the brotherhood, man. You understand? Did y'all have right? You have anything you want to say?
Live.
Okay, Salakia. Abon, you have anything you want to say?
I'm too old.
Okay, no sweat. Could one of y'all get me? You was holding that for me. That Proverbs 28:25.
Come. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 25. He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife.
And that we know that in the scriptures that word heart is dealing with the mind. You understand? So he that is of a proud mind, he stirs up strife. And we just the priest just read that the Lord said it's good and pleasant for the brethren to dwell in unity. If brethren are dwelling in unity, there shouldn't be no strife. But if you got a proud mind, you're gonna stir it up because of your arrogance. You're gonna gonna rub your brother the wrong way. Because of your pride. And I'm gonna be real, man. I've been guilty of that. You know, because of me being stubborn and stuck on one thing. You know, I see it this way. I gotta let this nigga know. Well, if I really love my brother, why can't I just, because the scriptures say, man, you know what I'm saying, that he that answers a matter before hearing the whole matter, it's a blot unto him. If pride will prevent you from hearing your brother, from hearing him out, because all you can hear is yourself. Right. You only hear your own thoughts. I know this nigga. I already know what he's about to say. Listen, man. For the brothers that know me, I'm Mr. Interrupt, Mr. Interject, Salakia. It's a demon. It's a wicked demon, man. You understand? Because in order for you to really show love to your brother, you have to hear the matter. Right. You have to hear him out, man. You can't cut him off and shut him off, man. But if you got a proud mind, you feel like, I already know what he's gonna say. I already know what he's talking about. Like, that's crazy, man. And see, it's deep too, man, because like Christians, they'll be like, what they say? Oh, God already knows what you're thinking. Mm-hmm. And like they try to take on that type of, but listen, what's deep? God do know what we thinking, but he finna listen to you though. Right. He finna listen. Go ahead, talk. Talk. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Are you finished? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Here's the judgment. Right? He know, but he gonna hear you out. Right. Just because he know, he's not gonna look, man. When Satan came to see the Lord was like, the Lord knew where he was at, but he said, hey man, where you been? To and fro. Oh, I know where you been. You was he ain't interrupting him. To and fro in the earth. Okay. Then he got to the subject matter. The Lord listens, man. He listens, man. And if the Lord, and the scripture say that the Lord hears the prayers of his people. So we know he's listening, man. Right. He hears the prayers of the righteous. So we know he's listening. You understand? And I'm not being spooky because we know the Elohim send up the reports and bring the reports up and down. So I'm not trying to be spooky that as an individual, you're individually communicating with the Lord. We know that the Elohim, the angels, take up what we say and our conduct and behavior up before the Lord and send up reports. Right. The same way how Isupk, how we conduct ourselves, reports are given and it's sent up the channels, man. You understand? But my point is that matters are heard out. And when it comes to your brother, man, when it comes to brotherhood, man, if you want to call yourself, if you have aspirations to be in rulership, if you have aspirations to be a judge hears the case. He hears the matter, man. Right. And he hears it without bias, without partiality. And all that's $1 million word. It just means that he hears it without coming to a conclusion. You understand? If you really are in this to gain rulership, then you have to hear your brother. You can't allow pride to enter your mind and block from hearing your brother. Because apart from the whole rulership aspect, just as a brother, don't you want for your brother what you want for yourself? Do you want somebody, when you're trying to convey your thoughts, do you want somebody to shut you off and cut you off? No. You need to get it all out, man. You understand? And on the other side of that coin, man, pride will keep you silent. You feel in a certain kind of way, but you don't want to say how you feel. Because you feel like, nah, it ain't worth it. Okay. But I'm going to tell you like this. That's how demons come too. The demon on you is telling you to keep your mouth shut. You feel like you know better. And then another demon comes up on you because now you come to conclusions about your brother and you haven't even went to him like the scripture said to do, man. You wiser in your own mind. You wise in your own conceit. You understand? All right. Give me that Proverbs 28:25 again.
Come.
If I could.
Go ahead, priest. Salakia.
What Officer Tabazar is bringing out is so heavy and so pertinent that every man who's ever lived has always thought these things and understood these things, like especially when a brother might do something to you, or you might think you got somebody figured out and this and that.
Right.
But because you lack brotherhood or maybe some sort of compassion, or maybe there's some sort of mental thing you already got going on in your brain,
Right.
you won't get down to your brother's level. Let's say you was right in your mind. Like, why wouldn't you even more so hear out that brother? If you think you're right, like a teacher's got all the answers, but they still listen to every child.
That's right.
They still listen to every child in the classroom to hear their answer.
Right.
Right.
And that's how you figure out what a brother needs if you care about him. If you know what I'm saying.
And I'm gonna say this, man. Like, even that come down to the level, right? Like, you know, and I think it's a precept that say this, but I'm not gonna be Christian about this, because I know I heard this in church, but I think there's a precept that speaks to this though. But I don't want to say nothing that's not in the scriptures, man. But I heard a preacher say one time that the Lord sits high, but He looks low. You understand? But I think there's a scripture that talks about that or that He dwells with the lowly, or something to that effect. But the whole thing is that, you know, the Lord hates pride, and you know why it's so heavy that the Lord hates pride? The Lord hates pride because he don't have none.
That's right.
And I don't know if that really I don't know if that hit. And so I'm gonna say it again. The Lord hates pride because He don't have any, and He's the Lord.
Yeah.
So, like, who are you? Like, I think the scriptures say, how can dust and ashes, or earth and ashes be proud? Well, listen, man. If I was a billionaire and I had created some miraculous or some super beneficial technology that just helped everybody on the planet, right? And then you got a brother who lived on the streets his whole life. We both going to the same grave.
Right.
What do I have to be proud of? Okay, he had a flame that was lit. I had a flame that was lit. Both of those flames are going out. Okay, mine was in a house and it lit up a house for a while, but my flame is going to go out like his flame is going to go out. You understand?
Right.
The scriptures say that the rich and the poor, the Lord is the maker of them both.
Right.
You understand? Like, what do you have to be proud of? You understand? Give me Proverbs 13:10. And like I say, man, I'm you know, man, I have to be honest, man. Like, I'm guilty of it. You know, I'm guilty of not hearing my brother out in his entirety. You know what I'm saying? I'm guilty of of thinking I have the answer, you know, ahead of time. That I know better. But when I don't know better. Because I'm gonna be real. The eye educated didn't need me. I need the Isupk.
Right.
You understand? Since I humbled myself and got on the narrow path, my entire life has changed. The manner in which I deal with my children, my family, and it's consistently changing. And the only reason why it can change is because I have to renew my mind. But in order to renew your mind, you have to humble yourself down, man. Pride can't be in the mix, man.
Right.
Bring that out, Roy.
I got.
Humble cause, sir. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Only by pride cometh contention.
Right. Only by pride comes contention, man. Brotherhood is not about contention. It's not saying that we're not going to have disagreements, but contention is like the next level. Contention is like where the disagreement hasn't been resolved, and now it's turning into something else, man. And that's by pride, because you know, I think I seen a post from a sister, and she was like, you know, you'd be surprised how what was the phrase she used? I think she said, I understand. You know, somebody come at you with an issue, I understand, or salakia. Salakia can fix a lot of things. Really, just salakia. That can solve a lot of things, man. Right. A brother like, hey man, yo, you you did it. Hey, salakia, man, salakia. You know, that can solve a lot of issues. And then what you're doing is, even if you feel like what he accused you of, you feel like you didn't do, salakia. My bad. You know, I definitely wasn't trying to offend you. You know, if you took what I did that way, Salakia, just humbling yourself can eliminate contention. But read that again.
Come on. Only by pride cometh contention.
Go ahead, keep reading.
But with the well-advised is wisdom.
With the well-advised is wisdom. The well-advised. How is a person well-advised? Through counsel.
Right.
Through class. But pride will keep you out of class. I ain't gonna listen to them Isupk brothers, man. They beat on their women. They wear on them spikes. You know what I mean? They say John the Baptist wasn't the truth. I ain't trying to hear them.
That's pride for sure.
You understand? You in the same spirit that John the Baptist was in. Pride.
Right.
You know, pride kept him from following Christ.
That's pride for sure. Yeah.
You understand? You in that same spirit. That's why that breakdown offends you, because you're in the spirit of pride. You understand? You can't humble yourself down. No, go ahead, priest.
I'm just going to go off of you saying with John the Baptist. So he paid the way for Christ, and when Christ came, he started hating on him. Is that what it is?
Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
It's not so much. It's not so much that he was hating on him. It's like I'm such a, you know, the people recognize him as such a great prophet now. And he's like, well, I can't just step down and get out the way for that's pride that tells you prophesy a king is coming. The king comes, and then you don't give all due reverence like the 12 disciples did to Christ.
Right.
Pride is blinding, man. Pride will blind you. Like, okay, it talks about that John bore witness to the light.
Right.
But he couldn't. But now you know you see the movies. They follow the light, go into the light, right? But he didn't become a disciple. John was given the first opportunity to be Christ's first disciple, and but the scripture said that he still had his own disciples and was baptizing. If you said that Christ's baptism was greater than yours, that you baptized with water, but he's going to baptize with fire, why would you still be baptizing people in water if you know there's a greater baptism? You know, pride causes schisms. It causes division. Because you had John's disciples asking John, like, yo, his disciples is baptizing more than you. How come? What's going on? That means that John didn't have a discussion with his disciples about saying, oh, he said it then. He was like, well, you know, what do you say? When the groomsman sees the bridegroom, he rejoices. He must increase, I must decrease. That, like, to even have to say that to these men, you could have easily got all the people that was following you and then added them up onto Christ. You could have been like, look, man, we got to go follow Christ, but you want to have your own group. You don't want to let go of whatever name or reputation that you built up.
Good night.
When Christ said, why do you seek the honor that comes from men and not the honor that comes from God? Pride. Because you want men looking at you in a certain way. Right. You want your name to be heard with a certain ring. It doesn't mean nothing. You know, like General Muhammad said in class, that the Lord can replace anybody anytime.
Right.
None of us are essential.
Right.
I mean, the work of the ISUPK is essential, but no one man is so essential to the Most High that he can't move you out the way and get somebody else.
Right.
And that's pride for you to think otherwise. To think that you're so important that the Lord needs you so much, your perspective and how you feel and how you think is so important. The Lord can scoot you out the way, man. And I'm going to tell y'all, man, it's so deep, man, because see, like the Lord be listening, man. He listens to what you're thinking about. And you thinking you in your own little closet space inside of yourself and you just saying all this stuff and thinking all this stuff about your brothers, about yourself, and that the Lord ain't listening. You playing yourself. It's so, man, the Lord is a terrible power, man. You understand? We need to fear the Lord. The scriptures say, what does the Lord ask of us? But to walk humbly with him. Because he's a terrible power. He'll let you, listen, the Lord is so terrible, he'll let you walk in your pride, let you look like you're gaining ground in front of everybody, and then when you hit your height, knock you off the cliff, man. You be around here like the Walking Dead. We all have to humble ourselves, man. And it's and there's no shame in that. You understand? There's no shame in that, man. Only through pride comes contention. What breaks up the brotherhood? Contention. As a matter of fact, man, give me Salaki, give me Proverbs. What is that? Is that Proverbs 18? I want to say 18 and good night. What is that, man? Proverbs 18 and like 16. Or no, Salaki, Proverbs 18 and 9. Excuse me. Only through pride comes contention. And what's the goal? What's our goal in the truth? It's to gain our brethren, man. It's to warn them of the wrath to come,
right.
To come up out of Babylon, because Babylon is falling to rise no more, and to let them know that Christ died for us to come back into the adoption, so we can be back back in the covenant of our forefathers, man.
Right.
And walk in our heritage and walk in our culture, man. And where God will be with us again. So that the enemies and the people that hate us, that the Lord can address them and deal with them and save us. You understand? Where do you have time for pride in that? Where do you have and you know, it's, let me tell y'all something, man. The scriptures call the laws, statutes, and commandments, it calls it the light, right? I believe it's Isaiah 8 and 20, I think. It says that if a man speak not according to this law and testimony, he has no light in him, right? A lantern holds a flame. It holds a light. You carry a lantern into a dark cave, it's going to light that cave up. You're walking through darkness, and it's lighting up everything around it. But that lantern is not the light itself. It's not the flame itself. It only carries that flame.
All right.
The scriptures say that the Lord puts out the candle of the wicked. He blows and the flame is gone. We're lanterns. Don't ever get it confused like you yourself are the light. The word of the Lord is the light. His laws, statutes, and commandments are the light. If you're practicing it with a humble and sincere heart, you are a light, but you're not the light.
Right.
Don't ever get that confused, man. You understand? Listen, man. This is an opportunity for us to endure to the end. And if the Lord decides to have mercy on us, we can go on to the next chapter. If he decides to do that. And that's up to him. You understand? The scriptures say that there's some aspects of this that Christ don't even know yet until he get the order. Because you had, I believe it was, and I think we're gonna get to that scripture. I'm not sure, but where I think it was James and John asked Christ, could they sit on his left and right hand? And Christ was like, that's not mine to give. Only the Father can. You know, that's only for who is prepared for. I can't promise you that. You understand? So it's important for us that if it's nothing wrong with wanting to have what's the word? A righteous ambition.
Right.
Right? Because we're all striving to get crowns. But Christ said that if you want to be the greatest, be a servant to your brethren, man. You got to have the ultimate brotherhood, man. You have to learn how to deal with every brother, not just the brothers that you click with. You understand? For the brother that you don't click with, that's your opportunity to grow.
Right.
Because if it's a brother, you like, man, every time this brother come around, man, it really should be, man, okay, how can I figure this out? How can I serve this brother? What can I do to help this brother? What can I do? Sometimes you helping a brother could just you being quiet.
Right.
Or, hey, brother, you need anything? You know, really you being quiet could be a great help, because in you listening to him, you can discover what it is that he needs, right, or what you can give him.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you, man. Sometimes, man, just a listening ear, man, can be a great help, man. You know what I mean? The scriptures also say that a word spoken in season is like a golden apple on a portrait of silver or something like that. A word can just a single word of encouragement, man, can change the whole brother's outlook on things. But you have to be able to hear him first, though, man.
Right.
But Salakia, that Proverbs 18, you got that?
Proverbs 18?
Mm-hmm.
18 now. Okay. The book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
He also that is slothful.
Oh, Salakia, that's not what it is then. 19, try 19.
19.
It should be a brother offended.
A false witness shall not be employed.
You got it?
Come on,
You see it? Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 19.
Is it a brother offended?
Come on,
Go ahead.
A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city.
Read that again.
Come on. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city.
Right. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city. What does that mean, man? Like when the American armies, when the U.S. armies went into Iraq, they had to take over Baghdad. That was a city that they had to try to take. Mm-hmm. Now it wasn't really difficult for them because they didn't have the military force that America had. Right. But you have some, if y'all seen some films like Kingdom of Heaven or Troy, mm-hmm. they had these big walls, man. You understand? And they would have to lay siege to the city. In some movies you see like they have like the towers where they have the infantrymen in the towers. Right. And they build these high towers to go press up against the walls and try to overcome the defenses of the city. The battering rams and whatnot too, right? Like they'll be dumping oil over the wall, right. Shooting flaming arrows, hitting the oil, setting the soldiers on fire. But the scriptures is saying that when you offend a brother with your words, he's harder to be won than a strong city. But that's why it also said that only through pride comes contention. Because if you humble yourself to your brother, if your brother is angry with you and you say, man, Salakia, man, now if he has a whole bunch of pride, he won't accept your Salakia. Because when a brother says Salakia, that should be the end of it. There shouldn't be no more, I don't feel like your Salakia was a good Salakia. I don't feel like you meant that Salakia. No, if a brother say Salakia, take that. Because I'm going to tell you something. If he didn't mean it, the Lord's going to address the situation. Because why? He'll come out with that same behavior later. You understand? A person who's wicked, what they're gonna end up doing the same thing over and over again. So, but for you, as a righteous man, you have to take what that person says and leave it at that.
Right.
And if he's sincere, then you'll see a change. But then also you got what Christ said, that when Peter asked him, Lord, if a man offend me 7 times in a day, how often should I forgive him? 7 times? And Christ's response was, La, 70 times 7. So we know on our end, we have to let it go and move on, man. You understand? And if the brother won't hear us, if we go to him and he doesn't hear us, then we take it to counsel, man. You understand? There's no need to. Once you go to a brother and you express your grievance and he don't want to hear what you have to say, then just take it to counsel. You understand? Take it to somebody in authority above you and let the matter be judged, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how Christ said we're supposed to handle things in the earth, man. You understand? But now, if a brother comes to you and you got and you got pride, then you're gonna offend them and it's gonna be hard to gain them. Or, now sometimes, man, people can get offended by the truth. You understand? And that can't be helped. It's not for us to trim our ways and like Christians try to adapt to everything that's going on. Though the world starts getting down with homosexuality, so now you start letting homosexuals sing in the church. The world starts talking about women are equal to men, then you start getting female pastors. We ain't talking about that, man. All right? The truth is going to offend. Christ said that.
Yes. But
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you offending your brother by being a jerk. By not having compassion, man. By not having patience. By not being a gentleman. By being, by having some couth about you, some manners about you. You know what I mean? You understand? Where was we at? Oh yeah, finish reading that again. Salakia.
19, 20.
Oh, no, I got it.
Go ahead.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 19. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city.
And that's what our goal is to win our brethren, to gain our brethren, not to offend them and have them have their walls built up where they're not trying to hear you no more, man. Sometimes, man, the time is not to stand in your pride and when your brother's offended, and then after a week or 2 or 3 weeks or a month or a year, you go and say Salakia. The time is when he first come at you, man. Just humble down.
All right.
You listen, man. We're not saying that a brother can't get you angry, man. The Bible says, "Be angry and sin not." And we know that if you harbor a grudge against your brother, you have hatred in your heart for your brother, you're sinning against the Lord, man. That's what the scriptures say. All right, you can be angry, but sin not. And the scriptures also say, "Don't let the sun go down upon your wrath." Don't let the sun go down and you feel a type of way, man. Go to that brother and let it be known. Okay, is there any more on that?
Come.
Go ahead.
And their contentions are like the bars of a castle.
It's like prison bars, man, because it locks you both in there. You both locked up now, because now y'all are separated, man. You understand? Y'all all locked behind the same hatred. And we a nation, man. We a family, man, and we're a military, man. And how can a military move as one if I got a rifle, you got a rifle, but we got a disagreement to the point where we ain't talking. Can you really have confidence that I'm gonna watch your back? Can I have confidence that you're gonna watch my back if somebody catch me in their crosshairs, that you're gonna take care of that while I'm dealing with this situation? Can we really move together as a unit? Can we get anything accomplished? Pride is the enemy of brotherhood, man. And brotherhood is our weapon. And life is war. So it's counterproductive, man, for pride to be in the mix when we have the nations that are our enemies, and amongst ourselves, we're letting our own personal pride destroy the brotherhood that the Lord ordained for us to get up out of this hell, man.
All right.
You make yourself into a traitor because you place your interests, you place what's important to you above the nation, above the brethren. And that's not the spirit of Christ, man. Christ lived his life for the sake of the nation of Israel. He gave up his life for the nation, man. And we ought to walk as he walked. You understand? Give me Proverbs 16:5.
I got it. Which one?
16:5. Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 5. For anyone that is proud in his heart is an abomination to the Lord.
Read that again.
Verse 5. Verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
The scriptures say that everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination unto the Lord. Y'all need to let that sit. You cannot be eating pork. You cannot be sleeping with whores. You could not be a homosexual.
Right.
But you feel like you know it all. The Lord look at you like pork. You're an abomination. He don't even want to. You got to think, man. An abomination is something the Lord is not dealing with. If he tells us that pork is an abomination unto us, crab, shrimp, and lobster is an abomination unto us, that means that we're not supposed to deal with it on no level.
Right.
So if the Lord is saying that the proud in heart, and we understand that the heart is the mind, if the Lord is saying the proud in heart is an abomination unto him, he's not dealing with you, man. The Lord ain't dealing with you.
I was trying to do a bunch of other shit.
There we lie. Hey, Salakia, for that interruption. We're going to get back to the class. Could someone give me that Jeremiah 9:23?
Come. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, verse 23. Thus saith the Lord,
Right.
let not the wise man glory in his wisdom.
A lot of wisdom. You have a college education. You have a lot of street experience. You know what I'm saying? You went to the school of hard knocks or whatever you feel like you got knowledge in. The Lord's saying don't glory in that.